Today we're exploring a moment that grabbed massive attention, a fiery exchange between Joy Behar and Jane Fonda that played out live on national television. It was one of those on-air interactions where you can almost feel the air tighten in the studio, and viewers couldn't stop talking about it afterward. Whether you saw the moment yourself or just heard about it online, this breakdown will walk you through how the conversation unfolded, why it escalated, and what made it stand out so much. From the moment the segment started, there was already a certain tension in the room. Sometimes guests bring an energy that shifts the entire vibe of the show. And this time, Jane Fonda came in with a boldness that immediately set the tone. Joy Behar, known for her strong personality and outspoken style, matched that energy instantly, and the audience could feel the spark as soon as they began talking. The discussion started out calm enough, touching on topics that each of them felt strongly about, but it didn't take long for the tone to shift. Jane has always been passionate and direct when she speaks, and Joy has always been quick, sharp, and unafraid to challenge anyone. That combination can be powerful, but it can also lead to tough moments when opinions collide. As the conversation moved into more sensitive territory, both women seemed determined to make their point clear. Jane leaned forward, emphasizing her standpoint with conviction, while Joy pushed back with her own perspective just as confidently. Each sentence built on the tension of the last, and the studio grew noticeably quieter as everyone waited to see who would respond next. At one point, it felt like the two weren't even hearing each other anymore. Their voices didn't necessarily get louder, but each reply carried more weight than the one before. The audience reacted in small ways, soft gasps, surprised laughter, and moments of silence where no one seemed sure how the exchange would land. Joy, who is typically comfortable steering conversations even when they get intense, appeared slightly thrown off when Jane challenged one of her remarks directly. Jane's response was sharp, and the audience shifted in their seats as the moment settled. It wasn't disrespectful, but it was firm, and it caught Joy off guard just long enough to create a brief, uncomfortable pause. That pause was enough to send the internet into a frenzy later. Viewers love moments where strong personalities collide, and this one delivered exactly that. Social media lit up with reactions, memes, and opinions about who won the interaction, although the real story was more complicated than simple victory or defeat. As Joy regained her footing, she responded with her signature humor, trying to ease the tension by adding a light-hearted remark. Jane didn't immediately soften, which made the moment feel even sharper. Instead, she continued speaking from a place of deep conviction, making it clear she wasn't there to sugarcoat the issue being discussed. The backhand forth continued with each woman presenting her thoughts in a way that felt like a verbal chess match. Every statement was strategic, every reply was calculated, and the tone remained intense even when they smiled. It was the kind of exchange that television producers both fear and love, because it keeps viewers glued to their screens. As the discussion pushed forward, the contrast between their communication styles became even more obvious. Jane spoke with the calm but fierce energy of someone who has spent decades advocating for causes, while Joy responded with quick wit and challenge. Both approaches were strong, but together they created a clash that felt almost inevitable. At one point, the audience reacted so loudly that the hosts had to pause for a moment. It was clear that viewers in the studio were just as invested as those watching from home. The energy of the room shifted again, and you could tell everyone sensed the importance of the moment. Joy attempted once again to lighten the situation, leaning into a comedic comment to break the tension. It worked for a second, earning a few laughs, but Jane kept her focus and continued speaking with seriousness. That determination added another layer to the dynamic, making the moment feel even more intense and memorable. What made the situation even more striking was that neither of them seemed willing to give an inch. Both believed strongly in what they were saying, and neither wanted to back down. That kind of passionate exchange can make for compelling television, but it can also lead to moments that look harsher on camera than they may feel in person. As they continued, the studio atmosphere became a mix of curiosity and nervous energy. Viewers leaned forward, the other hosts looked between the two women, and every second felt heavier than the last. It's rare for conversations to reach that level of intensity without completely breaking down, but somehow, both women kept pushing through. Eventually, Joy shifted her tone again, trying to regain control of the rhythm of the conversation. She attempted to pivot to a broader point, hoping to settle the back and forth into a more neutral place. But Jane wasn't ready to let the issue go yet, and she gently but firmly pulled the discussion back to where she wanted it. This backtracking caught Joy by surprise once again, and the camera captured a brief reaction that quickly spread across the internet. It wasn't dramatic, but it was enough for viewers to sense that the tension had reached its peak. Clips of that moment were replayed repeatedly online, described by many as a kind of verbal shutdown. Even if that description oversimplified the situation, from that point things began to calm slightly. Joy, recognizing the intensity, loosened her posture and allowed Jane to finish her point without jumping back in immediately. Jane, meanwhile, softened her tone a little as she wrapped up her thoughts, showing that despite the heat of the dialogue, there was still mutual respect underneath it. The audience applauded as the segment neared its end, but even then the atmosphere felt charged. It was one of those moments where the applause wasn't just support. It was also relief, a release of the tension that had built steadily throughout the conversation. When the show went to commercial break, many viewers were left with questions. Was it personal? Was it simply passion? Were the two actually upset with each other or just deeply committed to their viewpoints? Those questions fueled countless discussions online, and the moment quickly became one of the most talked about exchanges from the show in recent memory. Later on, many fans argued that the clash wasn't about humiliation at all, but rather about two strong personalities who care deeply about the topics they discuss. Others felt that the moment made Joy look caught off guard in a way she rarely is. And still, others believed that the intensity showed the value of open, honest conversation, even when it gets uncomfortable. What makes moments like this so fascinating is that they reflect something larger than a simple disagreement. They show how complex conversations can become when people with strong beliefs and strong voices meet on live television. They also highlight how quickly public perception can shift based on a single interaction. Whether you saw the moment as tense, uncomfortable, entertaining, or insightful, it definitely sparked conversation across the internet. Many viewers respected Jane's conviction, many appreciated Joy's attempts to balance seriousness with humor, and many simply enjoyed watching two iconic public figures engage in a spirited debate. In the days that followed, reactions continued to pour in. Some praised the show for allowing such raw discussion, while others felt the hosts should have intervened more. Still, most people agreed on one thing: it was a moment that everyone would remember. As more clips circulated online, the moment took on a life of its own. People created edits, reaction videos, commentary breakdowns, and humorous memes. Some exaggerated the intensity, while others tried to analyze the real meaning behind their words. It became the kind of moment that showed how quickly televised interactions can transform into cultural talking points. But behind all the reactions and interpretations, the truth remained simple. This was a passionate, unscripted moment between two outspoken individuals who care deeply about the issues they discuss. It wasn't about humiliation or victory. It was about conviction, communication, and the unpredictable nature of live television. And that unpredictability is part of what keeps viewers watching. You never know when a conversation will take an unexpected turn, or when a seemingly calm moment will explode into a debate that gets everyone talking. That's the power of live discussion and the reason moments like this resonate so strongly with audiences. By the time the buzz began to fade, the clip had already become one of those standout moments that people look back on when talking about intense talk show exchanges. It served as a reminder of how quickly conversations can heat up and how important it is to understand the deeper emotions behind them. In conclusion, the clash between Joy Behar and Jane Fonda wasn't just a viral moment. It was a reflection of what happens when two passionate voices collide in real time. It was intense, it was unexpected, and it sparked conversations that extended far beyond the studio. And whether you view it as dramatic, entertaining, or thought-provoking, It's clear the moment left a lasting impression on everyone who witnessed it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the moments everyone is talking about.